Picture this. The year is 1945. World War II has just ended. The world is left to pick up the pieces. In the aftermath, tension brews among the victorious allies, the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union. These strained relations culminate in a profound division, splitting Germany into East and West. A stark contrast emerges between the capitalist West and the communist East, a division that manifests physically and symbolically. And thus the stage was set for one of the most iconic symbols of the Cold War, the Berlin Wall. Fast forward to 1961. Overnight, the city of Berlin was divided. The year was 1961, a time of great tension and uncertainty. In the dead of night, the East German government, backed by the Soviet Union, began a project that would forever alter the course of history. With a few rolls of barbed wire and some concrete blocks, the construction of the Berlin Wall started. Its purpose was clear and chilling: to prevent East Germans from fleeing to the West. This was no ordinary wall. Stretching over 27 miles, it dissected streets, neighborhoods, and even communities. Imagine waking up to find your city, your home, suddenly divided. One side free, the other imprisoned. The wall wasn't just a physical barrier, it was a symbol of the ideological divide that had torn the world in two. For the residents of Berlin, the implications of this division were profound. Families were torn apart, friends separated, lives irrevocably changed. East Berliners were cut off from their jobs, their loved ones, and their dreams of a better life. They were trapped, their freedom curtailed by a wall of concrete and steel. Yet amidst the hardship and despair, there were stories of defiance and resilience. People risked their lives, braving the watchtowers and guards in desperate attempts to reach the other side. The wall, a stark symbol of division, stood tall and impenetrable, splitting families and friends apart. Life behind the wall was far from easy. East Berlin, under the thumb of the East German government, was a world of its own. Living conditions were harsh. Basic goods were scarce and surveillance was a constant. The Stasi, the State Security Service, was ever present, casting a shadow of fear and suspicion over daily life. Yet in this challenging environment, people dreamt of freedom. Tales of daring escapes pepper our history. Some tunneled beneath the wall, others braved the treacherous waters of the Spree River. Each story a testament to the indomitable will of the human spirit. But the East German government was relentless in its efforts to prevent escapes. Watchtowers and guards littered the wall's length, and the infamous death strip stood as a chilling deterrent, a no-man's land between freedom and oppression. Despite the oppressive regime and the seemingly insurmountable wall, the human spirit remained unbroken. 1989 marked the beginning of the end for the Berlin Wall. A wave of political change swept across Eastern Europe, shaking the very foundations of the wall that had divided Berlin for nearly 3 decades. The year was marked by a series of peaceful protests, with crowds gathering, not to rage against the machine, but to demand their right to freedom. The movement was fueled by an undercurrent of change. The winds of perestroika and glasnost blowing from the Soviet Union had reached the German Democratic Republic, stirring the desire for freedom among its citizens. This was a time when the people's voice became louder than the government's rhetoric. Media played a pivotal role in this transformation. They brought the protests into the living rooms of the world, shedding light on the plight of the divided city. The power of the press was instrumental in applying international pressure on the East German government, eventually leading to the loosening of travel restrictions. Then came that fateful day, November 9th. In a press conference, an announcement was made that East Berliners could now cross the border. The statement, though initially intended to be a controlled measure, spread like wildfire. That night, thousands flocked to the wall, and the guards, overwhelmed by the sheer number of people, had no choice but to let them pass. And so the wall fell, not to the sound of gunfire, but to the cheers of a united Berlin. Today, the Berlin Wall serves as a reminder of a divided past. It's a poignant symbol, not just of a city cleaved in two, but of a world once polarized. Yet it also stands as a beacon of unity, a testament to the indomitable spirit of mankind and our relentless quest for freedom. It underscores the importance of unity, the value of freedom, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The Berlin Wall, a stark reminder of our past, stands testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the relentless pursuit of freedom.